There's no entertainment value in helping people.
Promise him 2 beers, no more than 2.
My pronouns are His Holiness and Her Majesty.
I envy you and your ignorance.
Hello, and we're back. This the Asian hour.
You hit that subscribe button. We arrived at the wrong time.
We're very, very good. Yes, hello, everybody.
That's Flight Lights Plick.
Yeah. Holy shit, that's good. Yeah. This, as you can probably tell, is our 4th episode of the month. Therefore, we don't really care all that much. But Sean does have some cryptid things on his mind, so I'm going to let him lead this one. Go right ahead, Sean.
You're making me do 2 episode lead-ins in a row.
Did you do the last one?
It's your show.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
his name's first.
He's the one who wasn't
but
here.
your name is on the show, so I'd like to think you could contribute a little bit if you wanted to or felt compelled. Just fucking do it.
Feel compelled, like
Do it,
you're some sort of spirit that's gonna possess me. It's gonna be
Well, we are talking about
possessed by
cryptids.
the spirit of making some fucking content, Sean.
Yes. Yes. Well, we're talking about cryptids.
Yeah. We
and
are.
cryptids is really your thing, so I'm going to, you go ahead. You got any good cryptid ghost stories? Something paranormal? I don't know.
I was listening to this weird thing that I don't know if you've heard about. Have you heard anything about the missing 411 cases?
Nope.
I have.
He has.
Excellent.
Okay, this is good. Yeah.
I've heard about the missing 311. They haven't made an album in so long.
Yeah. They do. No, they do cruises now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they it's not a joke. They I guess they get all their fans to fund it, obviously, and they get
All
on
5
and
of
they. But anyway, they
Yeah, we're going the long route to this one.
but no, they basically they go on a cruise with their fans, and then they just play shows every night, and the fans, I guess, drink or whatever.
Actually pay for it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean,
All right, back to cryptids.
I don't know if they're still doing it.
Maybe our fans will do that for us someday.
Maybe.
Yeah, you got a fucking rowboat?
Be like, Edwin, come on.
Edwin.
Hey.
Eddie.
Hey, I think eventually we'll be able to rent out like the PA.
That's a
dinner
shout
or
out
something.
to Edwin and Eddie. You're welcome. You got a mention on the show.
Now you gotta watch the episode.
Now you're
Hashtag.
obligated to watch it all.
Need a hashtag.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
anyways,
Yes, cryptid. Something 411.
Missing 411. So
Okay.
missing 411 is a phenomenon that takes place usually in national parks where people will go missing under strange circumstances. Now, you have a lot of people that just go missing in national parks because they get lost because they don't stay on the trail like they're supposed to,
Naturally.
Yes.
or they get attacked by animals. But sometimes you have weird things that happen, like someone will disappear and then they will appear hundreds of thousands of miles away and won't have any memory
Well,
of...
I've heard of shit like
Not-
that, but I was watching it on
Hold
YouTube.
on, not hundreds of thousands of
I
miles,
heard
'cause
one-
then they would be in space.
No, they just looped around the world a few times. And
Yeah.
I did
Obviously.
read one for some kid that they looked for and looked for and looked for in some forest, and they couldn't find him, and then they just happened to turn around, and he's like standing on the trail where they had left him. Mm-hmm. And he was gone for like an hour or something.
So it's like always the last place you look.
Well, yeah, because you stopped looking.
Well, there are things that disqualify them from being missing 411, like if they've been doing drugs or drinking heavily, or if there were some kind of factors like there's a possibility they could have killed themselves, like jumping off a cliff.
Or if they had an angry ex-girlfriend in the area.
Yeah. I mean, stuff like that. Like if there are, mitigating circumstances that could, but all of the actual qualifying 411 cases are ones where it's somebody who has no reason whatsoever to go missing. They're not on drugs. They're not, they don't have any health problems that might
They're not ducking child support.
Yeah, exactly. And because a lot of
Bitch didn't get my money no more.
because a lot of them are like little kids, and and little kids they don't
Little kids should not be paying child support.
and and they shouldn't be wanting to kill
So
themselves.
is this paranormal or is this just missing people?
Well, that's just it. They don't know.
Well, here's the thing. The missing people part, that's normal. Why or how they go missing is kind of the paranormal
That's where
part.
the paranormal comes in?
Yeah.
Like one of the ones that I always find the most interesting was that there was this family that was visiting, I forget which national park it was, but
Camden Park.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a national treasure.
Wait,
But they were out visiting somewhere, and wherever they was at, they had a barn, and they had a little 4-year-old with them, and they were walking around, and the kid runs around the corner of the barn, and they're like, honey, catch him, don't let him run off and get into something. Dad walks around the corner, kid is just gone.
Okay.
that was shit. I know where that is.
Did Timmy fall down a well?
No, strangely enough, I don't remember how they found him. They put out a search party. They did find him, luckily. I think it was 48 hours later, I believe. And he was 2 mountain ranges over in the middle of the forest. They actually had the survivor guy?
Bear Grylls?
No, the other one. The guy that
no,
carries his equipment with him.
Les Stroud.
Yeah, Les Stroud. They actually brought him on, and they were like, we want you to go ahead,
Make the same track.
make the same trek from point A to point B where the kid was at. This 4-year-old.
Yeah.
In 48 hours.
With
And
no,
basically, he got halfway through, and he's like, I don't think I can do this.
well, also the kid had no shoes, and when they found the kid, his feet were pristine, had no cuts. No.
So meaning he didn't do any walking.
Yeah.
Well, but the official explanation was that he walked, or they're saying that he got disoriented and he just walked. But
And it's paranormal because there's no earthly fucking reason.
there's no way.
There's no way he could have made that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Just stupid aliens forgot where they took him and just, we'll just drop you off at the corner.
Bullshit. It wasn't aliens. It was Bigfoot.
Well, there was also
Piggyback ride.
Sean. Did you ever see the one about there was a kid? He was playing hide and seek with his brothers and sisters or cousins, whatever. But
It was,
a whole
just some
family.
other. It was just some other random family that happened to be there, and the kids were like,
Well, they were
you know
playing.
how kids are.
Well, they
Yes.
were hiding right off
need a
the
whole
trail
episode on
in
it.
bushes, and the kid's father, watched him walk into this bush and crouch down because they were trying to scare the adults, you know.
Yeah.
And so then, but it was starting to get dark, so they started going, "Okay, kids, time to come in." And that kid never came in, and he just literally vanished. But his father was watching the bush the whole time he was in, and he's just gone. Like
That's interesting.
And I don't believe they found him alive, if I remember correctly.
I don't. Well, no, they didn't find him alive. I don't know if they found him.
They found-
He didn't come back alive.
No, they found his skull, like the top of his skull, some teeth, and a bone or two.
He got headed.
But it was something like 30 miles away or something ridiculous.
Now they did. Speaking, since you mentioned Bigfoot, they did happen to find another family that was in. That was at the same park because the FBI and what is it, the Navy SEAls? Or
What
the
are we
Green
talking
Yeah,
about?
it was the Army.
The
It was
same
Green
park
Berets
we
and
talking
Army
about, 4-year-olds?
Rangers.
The same park you say, is this the 4-year-old or the family he's talking about where
Family
they found
he's-
the skull
family-
cap?
The one
Family
I'm,
he's talking
one I'm
about.
talking
Okay.
about. And they found him. They ended up finding the kid's remains in a spot that was literally in the dead center of the search area, but it was like a year later. Some hikers just happened upon the remains. But the weird part
This
about it,
Bigfoot got a really slow
but
digestive tract.
but the weird part was what he's talking about is literally like Delta Force, like special forces
Couldn't
soldiers.
find him?
Like they were brought in and deployed to help search, but then they
They
cordoned
don't-
off one huge area.
That's also not a thing that they do.
No.
You don't call in the Green Berets to search for missing people.
No. They're not a search and rescue team. They're
Somebody knew something.
Yeah,
Yes.
something like
Like-
or they were hunting something
Like,
that
I'm
require,
sorry,
you know.
the park rangers aren't going to cut it this go round, so we need the Green Berets.
Was it the Predator?
Is there not a few people in between there that you could have brought
Well,
in?
they also brought in a squad of Army Rangers to do perimeter,
Well,
like actual Army Rangers. And
That's it. It
again,
just seems to me like there's somebody between, what's the park ranger in Yogi the Bear and the Green Berets.
yeah, exactly.
Isn't there Tom down the road that
Well, they had-
has
Like,
a
do you not-
Cessna he can kind of
What about
fly
that
they
guy
did.
who works at the grocery store down the street? I mean, he's probably not doing much.
And but the thing is too is that once Delta Force and Army Rangers, once the military got involved, they claimed that they were in there doing their own search for this kid, but they would not speak to park rangers. They wouldn't speak because they had something like 200 or 300 volunteers.
They heard the
searching.
kid found oil, so
Probably, yeah.
To be fair, though, you get those Green Berets in there. Arnold Schwarzenegger's, he's not going to talk that much anyway. He's going to go in there and do his own thing, lead his team, and
He's gonna kill that ugly motherfucker.
he's going to kill that ugly
The
motherfucker.
child?
Yes,
No, the predator that ate the child.
yes, and stole his spine.
Well, it couldn't possibly be Predator because I'm guessing the kid wasn't armed.
How do you know?
this America,
I don't.
Because the dad watched him go in the bush unarmed.
So
Could be.
or maybe
Maybe he found a gun.
maybe the dad didn't actually watch him go into the bush. Maybe that's the dad's story.
it could be, but they cleared the dad because the dad was standing there when the kid went missing, and the other family and his wife, and his family, they all watched him. There's no way he could have physically done anything.
I think the
Now-
mom was backed up saying, the jungle came alive.
And
That doesn't make any sense.
comes in the hottest part of the year. But yeah, that one was extremely weird because there's no way all the where he ended up his remains ended up being found had been searched over like 4 or 5, 6 times, and the way they do it is very professional. They do it in like grid patterns to where every inch of every
That's actually
grid is
my
watched.
old trick from playing hide and seek. I'll watch them, and the first place they look when they leave, that's where I go to hide.
Mm.
I was
And-
good at that.
But but yeah, I mean,
You know what? With that delivery, boy, I'm really looking forward to that story.
but
Like, that sounded like it came right out of him.
But in addition, there's also some other factors to missing 411. Like they're typically found without shoes. Their clothes are on inside out. They're up in some place where there's no possible way they could have gotten to.
They have a massive wedgie for some reason.
And directly after they go missing, there's usually like
Heavy
spate.
inclement weather.
Yeah, there's really bad weather for like 3 days after it, and sniffer dogs, when they bring in the dogs lose their scent almost immediately, or they put them in circles, or they pick up scents in different grids that aren't like neighboring grids, like a checkerboard. They go up, they might find it here and then lose it, and then go up here and find it again, and like all over the place. And and the kid is just literally, there's no tracks, there's no blood like that would indicate, or drag marks indicating like a mountain lion got him or anything like that. And so, and again,
So there's no dingo ate my baby moment.
exactly,
Yeah.
because a mountain lion will, when it catches prey, if it needs to hide it, it will stuff it between like rocks and things like that.
It's also not going to undress you before it eats you.
it's not going to
No.
put.
Be like, I want this plaid sweater for later.
And even when they found the kids dead, like their skin is usually like pristine.
Now, is this always, like, in this particular, what is this, show, website, what?
It's a
David Paulides is a guy who came up with the missing 411.
But that's what it is. It's
Yeah.
like, is it always out in the woods?
it's
they've actually got like, I think that he
There's been
was
some.
looking recently into like some that were just like in cities too, but
Oh, okay.
not as much. He focuses more on like the national parks.
Well, what I was talking about was like, it was pretty much just a weird stories of people going missing. It's not just like a ghost hunting gig. Like
No, he doesn't. If it, because that's the thing about David Paulides, and some of them, he is a Bigfoot proponent, I guess, but he likes to ground it in just the facts. He doesn't, and it's not like if people start going, "Oh, I saw a big hairy ape," he's just okay. No.
Yep,
Like,
nope.
But if it's, he will record, like, because a lot of the kids that are brought back, they're brought back perfectly fine. Even if it's a week, 11 days that they've been missing, they will have lost no weight. They won't be dirty, cut up, or anything like that.
There's no real evidence that they went through any kind of trauma.
Yeah, it's literally like they got picked up.
Why
and
don't
then
they ask them what happened?
They have, and they come up with these weird, crazy stories. Like
Tell them about the Mount Shasta one.
Yeah, this kid, he was literally walking a trail with his family, and I think his mother, she literally turned away from him for 10 seconds, and they were just on a trail, like a very well maintained trail, and when she looked back, the kid was just gone, and so they didn't know what was going on, so she starts running, gets a park ranger, they start searching, and what was it, like a few days later or something like that, they find the kid, and he's just sitting on a rock, like right about the place where he went missing.
That's the one I tried to tell earlier.
Oh, was that what it was? Okay, I didn't know that one. But
I wasn't very fresh up on the details, but
well,
kid went missing. Kid came back.
The kid claimed that he'd been taken by a fuzzy person, not a hairy person. He claimed that it was like a person who was out of focus, and then he claimed that he was taken to a cave where there was a robot grandma that took care of him, but she would get angry for, like, if he would say, like, I want to go home or anything like that, like, she would get angry, and so
Because you didn't like the kid being ungrateful.
but he was being fed like handfuls of berries and things like that, and he was perfectly well taken care of. He was clean, he wasn't dirty, as you would expect for a kid being alone in the woods for a week, 11 days, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So they did like a test run, and they're like, we'll cut this one loose. We'll find another one.
Yeah, we gotta find a better
Yeah,
kid.
I mean, and that's just
This
it.
kid's just too ungrateful.
Get
We
rid
don't
of
want
this
his
fucking
ass.
kid.
And the robot
Thank you would be
grandmothers,
nice.
supposedly there were multiple versions of the same robot grandmother, but some of them like looked slightly different or whatever. And wasn't it his grandmother that he thought it was?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's his.
It was supposedly, but he thought it was a robot because she had like glowing eyes and stuff. And so he claimed it was a robot grandmother. And, and of course they didn't put much stock into it, but
Fair enough.
but there is a missing 411 case of in Africa that was really interesting too. Two kids, and this is it was a consulate or a general or something. He was a very high-ranking military individual, and they had a like 10-foot tall wall all around the property, and his son and his friend were out playing in this yard, and the friend like ran over to pick up a ball or something, and the kid literally disappeared out of a 10-foot walled-in enclosure surrounded by military. And
That wasn't Bigfoot.
but when and he was taken, and so they searched everywhere. They couldn't find him. They tore the house apart, tore everything apart, and he finally came back, and they found him in the yard, and he started talking about all this crazy shit about how he was up in some kind of a lit up spaceship with like crazy beings and entities and all this, but still they have no idea. And he was missing for, I want to say, like 6 months or something. It was really crazy.
So yeah, I like
maybe,
this kind of
maybe
stuff.
not that.
Did the 411 guy? Did he cover the Russian guys that they found like naked in the snow?
Oh, the what's that? Pass?
The Dyatlov.
Dyatlov
Pass,
Pass,
yeah.
And they cut the tent from the inside.
Well, they
run
kind
into
of
the snow.
they kind of figured out what that was. That ended up being because all of them, the reason that they were slightly radiated was because they all worked in a facility that had radioactive materials. And then the reason they cut it from the inside was they believe that either their stove caught fire, and so they cut it trying to get out, or after it caught the tent on fire, or an avalanche buried half of them, so they cut it to get out. And that's what
the zipper on the tent froze.
Yeah.
yeah, and
Son of a bitch.
and that would indicate, even though there are still elements that don't 100% fit that explanation, such as like the missing tongues.
At that point, you're just taking what you can get.
Yeah, but it's I can't remember the exact official explanation, but it seemed to tie it up pretty well, except for a couple little
They
details.
do say that like hypothermia can like in the later stages, you feel like you're hot.
They call it
People always
it's-
take their clothes
Yeah,
off.
it's
trying
called
to cool down.
paradoxical undressing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's where you're so cold that your mind starts thinking it's kind of your mind's way of dealing with extreme stress, like extreme cold and stuff. So your mind's like, no, you're warm, it's okay. But the problem is your mind goes into hyperdrive and you start pulling your clothes off, which makes it
What
worse.
about the one they found in the cabin though? Didn't one of them find like a local cabin?
I didn't know one of them found a cabin.
No, they
Yeah, I
And the
heard that.
Dyatlov thing?
no, Dyatlov passed.
No.
They
were all
found
in the snow.
I
They
heard they
found
found like 3 of them here and one of them way over there, and then
They were- it
the
was
other
like-
one was in a
no
cabin somewhere.
one was in a creek. Like
Yeah.
one was face down in a creek. But no, I don't.
Yeah,
I
see,
wonder where I heard that.
that's the kind of this is the kind of stuff I like. All that stuff that they've tried to substantiate for years, and they don't have it quite wrapped up.
And like that's what I kind of like about the missing 411 stuff is that it's like for the starters for it is that the guy goes through a lot of stuff to just weed out things that it's like no, this is just a normal thing.
Yeah.
But then it's like you kind of hit all the stuff because it's like some of the stuff you're like, well, that sounds like it could be aliens.
Yeah.
That sounds like it could just be some random supernatural thing. Some of the stuff is just like, well, that sounds like Bigfoot or something.
Yeah. Well, just as long as it wasn't one of those ghost shows where they just.
I'm not saying it was
someplace
aliens, but it was aliens.
That's what I'm saying. All these ghost shows on TV, you see, it's like, oh, well, we're going to debunk it, but all they do is sit there and just play along everything they've been
I
told.
always like the ghost hunter shows.
Yes.
They just walk around
I
in
hate
night
those.
vision. Did you hear that?
Did you hear that?
I heard
We-
Did you see that over
we've
there off
heard
camera?
stories.
Oh my God! I saw
We've
something
heard
off
stories
camera.
of this.
That's what.
That's what they said. That's what they've
My-
reported.
I have a paranormal channel that I watch on YouTube, and I like it because I'm like, even if what they're getting isn't ghost stuff, I genuinely feel like these guys are like they feel genuine, and they also feel too stupid to be pulling the stuff off that they're doing. I'm like, it's like you caught something. Is it a ghost? I don't know.
You know what? I really wish they would go to the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. See what they have.
I will not be going to the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
Why not?
Why is that?
Because I've been there.
Oh, really?
Have you been there?
Me and my wife and my brother and my brother's wife and our cousin, we all went there one time, and we were taking the tour. They had 2 different tours, and we took the scarier tour.
The ghost tour, yes.
Yeah, the ghost tour. So we're going through there, and there's a little girl there. Her name was Katie. Look it up. She had died of tuberculosis. She was like 4 or 5 years old, something like that. And you go there and you walk through the thing, and there's like a balloon thing. You throw this little balloon, and she like throws it back or something.
I thought she threw a ball.
It could have been a ball. I don't
Like,
know.
I thought, yeah.
They're both air filled.
Well, yeah, and you can play with either one of them.
Are you going to let me tell somebody else's story or not?
Is this a 6-minute version?
I hope not.
No, this is the abridged. So we go there and we throw the ball, and then the ball comes back, and we're like, "Oh my God!" Like this
bounced
is
off a
real.
wall.
So of course we got chills, and we're all like, just terrified and shit. So we go around this one corner, and I feel this like I had this thick Carhartt jacket on, and I feel somebody like just nudging me like right here on my hip, and I'm like, oh my God, we got to get out of here. And that's that little girl. She's touching me, and my wife's like, well, maybe she thinks we're nice, and I'm like, we are nice. So yeah, but I will not be going back there.
What if we give you money to go back there?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Oh, yeah, sweet. Good.
I think that was way better than the first one.
First one? What do you mean?
I don't know what I'm talking about.
You told it well though.
the first one.
Actually, you're right. That was the best version. Oh, well, you know what, though? Me and Sean have discussed this, as well as Shane, and now Casey has too, that Casey and myself, our dad has a cryptid problem up on the hill on his property. And
The haint.
Yeah, Casey could probably tell you more about it, but yeah, me and Shane have Shane have discussed it. Sean doesn't want to go because he's a gigantic pussy, but yeah, we would like to go up there for a night and record something, see if we can't capture this fucker on camera or something like
Shane,
that.
put a picture of the Hank right up here.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
I'll
caught
probably put it there.
There's a
Oh,
picture
okay.
caught on a trail cam that we didn't see for I think like 4 or 5 days after it was taken, and we were just kind of going back through the pictures and we saw it, and yeah, it's whatever it is. I've
It's
seen
big.
it. Yeah, it's big. It's like based on the size, all you can really see is eyes, and I've got an enhanced version that you can kind of because it's a very dark picture, but you can kind of make out slight shoulder features. And whatever it is, again, I'm not claiming it's I don't know what it is, but whatever it is holding a dead coyote. And that same coyote, we got pictures of that coyote milling around that area about 2 or 3 hours before that, before that picture was taken. Like, it's very odd. I don't.
You know, you didn't tell me that part.
So,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not
Told me
only
that
got,
part.
I'm not only got to worry about the demon getting me, but fucking coyotes too.
Well, coyotes. I mean, I'm not worried about them because we'll be armed to the teeth.
yeah.
I'm not going to be armed to the teeth. I'm going to be drinking.
What
That's
you,
fine.
You're
You
going to be
do- you do
armed with
not-
a camera equipment.
I
What are
mean,
you
both.
talking
You
about?
do not want me armed and drinking. It's all I can do to not just shoot random people when I'm sober.
But it's
Yeah.
No, but we've got guns for days. That's
Yeah,
that's
there's
not an issue.
no shortage of guns there.
No.
But yeah, I would like to.
What if
within-
the demon has a gun too, though?
He doesn't. We're good. Like I would say somewhere in July because I'm busy every fucking weekend and this month. But
I don't know if you want to go up there in July.
too hot.
Be hot as balls. Yeah.
July or August.
It'd have to be late July because I'm tied up for most of July.
Yeah, me too. Well, not July so much.
Luckily, this is not a time-sensitive thing. We
Yeah.
can wait as long as we need to.
Well, we want to get up there before the weather breaks and it gets cold because who wants to go up there and be cold? Well, I would like to
Sean,
get up there and
Are,
watch
are
the
you
summer.
sure you don't want to
Actually-
go? He may need somebody to clean his gutters.
Actually, we do. Yeah, because the
gotta-
gutters are pretty nasty.
I got to
There's-
clean my own gutters first.
There's a tree growing out of one of the gutters in the cabin. But actually, why wouldn't we want it to be cold? Because then we could all bring our Carhartt jackets.
No, because the little girl will poke you in the jacket.
Nothing draws a spirit in like a good Carhartt jacket.
Asshole.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, old Rockefeller over there can afford Carhartt jackets.
No, mine's Ocean something or other. I don't even know what it is, but it looks like a Carhartt.
Ocean cranberry breeze.
Mine's a hand-me-down
Ocean
that my dad got too fat for his, and so he gave me his old one.
I don't have that luxury because Dad got most of my hand-me-downs.
Don't have that luxury. My dad didn't like me very much.
No, it's just I got bigger than him at a fairly young age.
Yeah, same.
I was the undernourished child because he got all the food. So.
Yeah. He was Danny DeVito to my Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Nice.
even though we weren't twins.
Still.
I was the one that everybody liked, and I
How things
got all the
change.
muscles. And, yeah, nobody likes me now. That was kind of self-imposed, though. Oh, but yeah, we need to. We'll figure it out whether it's cold or. I would rather go when it's still hot, just because I
Yeah.
don't want to have to lug a bunch of extra clothing up there.
Well, because it jumped the.
What if the battery on my shitty ass camera dies because of the
All
cold?
the only cameras I was wanting to do is our phones. It's like just do it. With
You
shoot
may
with
as well.
phones.
No. See, what you do
Well,
is you go and you take.
My Chinese camera has night vision.
Yeah.
Does it?
Oh, we've got night vision
If
scopes
and when it works.
Yeah, we got night vision scopes. We're
Yeah.
good.
that you can, and we have They have SD cards that you can plug in and record from.
Well, then we'll use those too. There you go. We'll have those, and those aren't
Yeah,
big.
Blair
Those are
Witch the fuck out of this.
What?
Those are all handheld, right?
The
Little-
scopes?
More like
Yeah.
Van
No,
Helsing.
they're mounted to rifles.
Oh, I thought you actually had the handheld like night vision.
No, we just
I mean,
we
if
have.
you take it off the rifle, you do.
Yeah, but the only thing is
Nobody wants to do that.
looking at it, it only No, it'll record all the time, but
Why do you need night vision on rifles? Can't you just spotlight like the rest of us?
no, especially for coyote. You can't.
Demon with the LEDs.
No, because we got 'em-
Demon will run.
we got them for coyote hunting, and unfortunately, the problem with coyote hunting in West Virginia is where it's nothing but mountains. A coyote can literally just peek over the mountaintop and not see something it doesn't like or smell
I ain't
something.
fucking with that.
Yeah, and it just runs off and you never see it. So that's why with night vision, they tend to be more brave, and so
Well, don't give them night
catch it.
vision.
Well, yeah,
Nobody wants a brave coyote.
but at night they feel safer because you can't be seen, whatever. So night vision. I eventually want to get some thermal, so that way we can just unpop them. But they kill deer back there, and they kill about everything. So you want to get rid of them, and they stink and they're nasty.
Yeah, they are awful.
Kill all the deer, save the cars.
No, a coyote, you can tell when something is bad when even Native Americans had no respect for coyotes. Because like a wolf will go for the throat, a mountain lion goes for the back of the neck, it's an ambush predator. Coyote literally goes for the belly, and it wants to bleed you slowly, and it will eat you while you're still alive. It won't do that for adults.
That sounds lovely.
And so the Native
And
Americans,
this creature killed one of them and was holding it by its neck.
yeah, you can see it.
He
it's
doesn't like
kinda-
them either.
And it
So it
was,
can't be all bad.
Yeah, whatever it was. And again, I've sent it to a couple photo artists, whatever you want to call them, and they put it through a whole bunch of different spectrums and whatever. Is autistic, but no. anyway,
That's the one that came back.
yep, came back autistic. Damn it. But anyway, but they said whatever is in the picture, it's a physical, corporeal being. It's not, it's not mist or whatever.
And I think it is our responsibility as a podcast to go up and see find out what this is.
And shoot it.
Oh, we don't even
Fuck
have
it.
to shoot
If I see it, I'm shooting it. I'm just.
Well, you shoot it, and Shane's gonna fuck it afterwards.
And if
I
it
think that's
piss-
the only chance you're gonna have.
and if it pisses it off, then I'm probably faster than you all, so
He did it.
I don't care.
yeah, I'm guessing the 320 pounder is gonna be the last one in line.
Yep. And if you're not the last in line, I will throw something and trip you, or put one in your leg to make sure.
You said you haven't gone up there since that picture.
Oh, no,
You haven't spent the night up there.
Well, I've spent one night back there since that picture, but I stayed up all night because we were coyote hunting.
Yeah, well, that's different.
Yeah.
It's like me, I would love to get up there and actually just check it out, see what's going on.
It's it's fun, but it's dark as shit.
I know it's
there's-
dark.
There's no lights, no electric.
Yeah, even the moon doesn't really get through up there.
No.
So,
No.
it could be loads of fun, and that's why I want to have it recorded, because if nothing else, that might get us, 3 or 4 more listeners.
And if
Or what actually happens is that if we get anything halfway decent, then you're like, we're just going to send out a bunch of it to random YouTube spook channels and just be like, hey, do you want to come look at this? This looks interesting.
I'm okay with that.
All you have to do is come on our podcast.
I'm cool with that.
I had when I posted
Have
that
a
picture
real
on
guess.
We'll plug your show on our podcast, so your
And you
clicks
plug-
are going way up.
You
When I
plug
put-
our show on yours.
when I posted that picture on 2 or 3 subreddits, which were literally just trail cam subreddits, seeing if anybody'd seen anything like that, I had probably 30, 40 people like, oh, I want to talk to you more about it, And so it would generate interest. So
Yeah.
if we caught something else like that,
Yeah, so there you go, people. We're about out of time anyway. I mean, we ran long on the last one, so let's go short on this one. Yeah, that makes sense, right?
I don't think that's how that works.
It's like, yeah, screw you. You're not paying for this.
Yeah.
This is the Phone It In episode
Yeah.
for July.
Phone it in, and honestly, we've talked about the cryptids anyway, which we needed to because we want to at least get some interest in this on-site recording we're going to do in hopes of getting some sort of fucking weird video or noise or whatever we can get out of it.
Or drunken ramblings, whatever.
Yeah, honestly, if that's all we got, I'm cool with that too. So
Can't go wrong with that.
yeah, so there you go. If that doesn't spark your interest, then find another podcast.
But also just keep continuing.
Oh, but continue to listen to us too.
Tell your
It's not
friends.
an either or. It's an and.
Please tell your friends.
Yeah, but also keep listening to us too.
Amber, you had a whole vacation to get caught up. You said you were going to. You better be caught up when this episode comes
Yet
out.
another plug. All right. Well, thanks for listening, and I guess we'll see you next month.
Do we cut it here?